DC Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, it looks like we're going to continue to see the typical summer weather pattern that we saw the latter part of July. Slightly better than normal rain chances. Temperatures a little bit below normal, so we're not complaining there on the heating bills, but scattered storms, they're a fact of life in the summertime and certainly front and center over the next week to 10 days. So let's take a look at the big picture across Louisiana. We did have a nice little thunderstorm cluster that came out of Mississippi, moved through the northeastern part of the state, and then came running down through Acadiana, but as it did so, it weakened once it got past Avoyelles Parish. Now it's generally quiet across the area, and we go off to the east. It's a little bit busier. You may notice the cloud pattern here. There's an upper level low here, but notice the surface winds out of the east. Meanwhile, over by Florida, plenty of showers and storms here associated with that disturbance that's not doing anything other than producing some pretty healthy rains across the Sunshine State. So this is where we're kind of stuck in between two systems. High pressure, but it's a little bit too far away. So we're getting this northerly flow and disturbances around that ridge of high pressure that come down. And then we have this upper level low by Florida. This looks like it's going to be drifting off to the east, northeast and weakening, but we're going to continue to maintain that northerly flow aloft. So it looks pretty good. The day starts off mostly sunny, then it's partly cloudy by midday. And then in the afternoon, we have some thunderstorms rolling in, and sometimes they're on the strong side. And that's what we saw today. And we've seen over the last several weeks for that matter. Here's 6 hours worth of radar. Lots of ground clutter now, but you can see that thunderstorm cluster across portions of Avoyelles Parish as it moves to the southwest. Few showers, though, over toward Mississippi at this hour. Elsewhere across Acadiana, nice and quiet. That's the way it should go most of the night. Maybe a quick pop-up shower, but quiet through tomorrow morning. We'll start off mostly sunny and then go to partly cloudy by lunchtime. And then by the afternoon, scattered showers and thunder showers bubbling up along and south of I-10. This looks like a 30% type of day based on the latest model trend, but we're going 40% on your rain chances for tomorrow to cover our bases. And then it quiets down tomorrow night. Then we go into Saturday, and we'll probably see scattered storms again, although I'm going 30% on the rain chances for Saturday. So here we go in the tropics. We have one developing system we've been keeping an eye on, talking about over the last several days. New tropical wave that's come off the African coast, and maybe another one here. This one looked pretty good as well. And the models do track these systems. We'll have more of that in just a bit. But the National Hurricane Center still fairly confident, even though this system has looked very poorly on the satellite imagery. There's a pretty good looking swirl here, and this could get its act together. So still a 70% chance of developing over the next 5 days, and that's going to be as we get closer to the northeastern Caribbean right here, just a 20% chance of development in the next 48 hours. So this is the zone where there's positivity on the possibility of some development, but after that there are a lot of question marks, and we'll show you more on that in just a bit. You see the storms across the Keys, across the Bahamas, a very busy weather here, inclement and unfortunately unsettled for a couple of more days, but no developments. And on the Pacific side, Eric now down to a tropical storm, Flossie a tropical storm as well, 70-mile-an-hour winds. Flossie's going to be heading for the Hawaiian Islands, maybe just to the north of the islands. Meanwhile, Eric is almost south of the Big Island right now. We have tropical storm warnings for the waters offshore Hawaii, but not for the inland area, so that's the good news. And you can see the storm does not look like a traditional hurricane. Just a couple of days ago was a major hurricane sporting 130-mile-an-hour winds. So here we go with the moisture channel, looking at the European model, and there we're tracking our one system. Here's that other tropical wave behind it. So development likely through this time. That's early next week. So no impacts across the Caribbean until about that time. Notice a frontal trough here across the Gulf of Mexico. This has been our MO with these fronts moving to the south. Then we go a little bit further down the road. It looks like conditions not that good for continued development, and that second tropical wave catches up with 96L. So we're not thinking this is going to be a major issue, and whatever, it turns off to the north and east. And notice we have another frontal trough draped over the coastal areas, Gulf Coast. This is a week from this weekend, so we're still stuck in the same pattern, but at least we can say with surety, no tropical system starting the Gulf of Mexico over the next 10 days. So, but with that in mind, Climatology will be catching up with us later this this month as we start climbing the big mountain of tropical activity. It peaks late August through the first week or two of October in Louisiana, coincidental with the peak of hurricane season, which is right around September 10th, 11th, 12th, right around there. So again, a lot of time to go before we get into the meat and potatoes part of the tropical season. Quiet night ahead, partly cloudy skies to occasionally fair. We always say fair to partly cloudy. Why not give partly cloudy the top billing here? Nice and humid overnight, 73 the low. Tomorrow, partly sunny early in the day, scattered mainly afternoon showers and storms. Rain chance 30-40%, and that's the way it goes as we head into the weekend as well. Could see subtle increases on your rain chances on any given day, especially Monday, Wednesday, and next weekend. Those seem to be the spots where we'll see a better chance of storms. Upper 80s to lower 90s are highs.
Very good. Thanks, Rob.